So let's do a story about the hilariously stupid predictions that Republicans made about what would happen by 2015 if Obama was reelected. Well, now it is 2015, so we can verify whether or not these things happened. So first of all, quote, in March 2012, on the Senate floor, Senator Mike Lee, a darling of the Tea Party right, predicted that if Obama was reelected, gas would cost $5.45 per gallon by the start of 2015. Lee said that gas prices would rise 5 cents for every month Obama was in office, ultimately reaching $6.60 per gallon. I love the specificity with which they bullshit. Now, Newt Gingrich also predicted that if Obama was reelected, he would push gas to, quote, $10 a gallon. Gingrich said he would reduce gas price, he personally, so if he was elected, he would reduce gas prices to $2.50. So it's noteworthy to mention that today the national average is $2.25. Fantastic. You could not make these things up if you tried, with the blithering stupidity of the people on the other side. Mitt Romney predicted that, quote, if Obama is reelected, you're going to see chronic high unemployment continue for 4 years or longer. And then Romney pledged that if he was elected, he could bring down the unemployment rate to 6% by January 2017. Whoops, because the unemployment rate currently stands at 5.8%, so it's under what Romney said, and it's been at under 6% since September 2014. So Obama blew out of the water even the most idealistic goals of Mitt Romney, and of course he proved him wrong in multiple ways. Now, again, here's why I love this, because it's not like there's nothing to critique in this economy. Of course there is. In fact, I just did a whole segment on it the other day where we were discussing how this is a bubble that was reinflated and we still have massive systemic issues in the economy. You have the student loan debt crisis, $1.2 trillion in debt, and they can't file bankruptcy on that. You have the derivatives market, which is a mess, and it's unregulated, and it's going to blow up at some point. You have wages for your middle-class worker stagnating from 1980 and onwards. All the new job creation has been low-wage job creation. The stock market being as high as it is not a true reflection of how the American economy is doing. It's a reflection of how the rich are doing. And again, that happened because the government rushed in and bailed out Wall Street and reinflated the bubble, and the stimulus has a little bit to do with it. So there are plenty of real problems in the economy, and these guys could have came out and did a substantive criticism of Obama and Obama's economy, but they didn't do it because they have no substance. They have no brains. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're a smirk in a suit that's propped up by a dying political party and the establishment, which is just bathed in money. These guys don't know what they're doing. Well, you think Mitt Romney's the smartest fucking guy in the room? Please, you think Newt Gingrich knows what the fuck he's doing? The guy is a mouthpiece for corporate America and Wall Street and rich people all across the country. He even looks the part. He's a bloated old white dude with 3 chins and an arrogant attitude. So, Charles Bilderman is the author of Intelligent Investing. It's a column at Forbes, and he predicted, quote, stocks are dropping with no bottom in sight. Bilderman said that the policies the Obama administration would pursue in his second term would, quote, crash stocks. On Bloomberg TV, investor Mark Faber predicted that because of Obama's reelection, the stock market would drop at least 20%. According to Faber, quote, Republicans understand the problem of excessive debt better than Mr. Obama, who basically doesn't care about piling up debt. I love how stupid that is, because it's stupid in like 2 or 3 different ways. First of all, the idea that debt is just guaranteed bad for an economy is nonsense. You have no clue about economics if you think that. I mean, for example, when you take a mortgage out on your house, that's debt. But it's good because you got a house and you make your payments every month. When you take a car loan out, that's debt. All debt is not bad. All debt, especially government-issued debt, is not bad either, because typically public sector spending, so government spending, equals private sector growth, private sector gains. Historically, that's how it's been. So this idea that debt is just a guaranteed negative, you got no clue what the fuck you're talking about. Speak to a Keynesian economist. Speak to an MMT economist. They'll laugh in your face if you believe in this stupidity, this old school idea that all debt is always bad. And then on top of that, Obama hasn't been piling on debt. Obama has been reducing the deficit. In fact, he's reduced it so much and so quickly that you have a lot of liberal and progressive economists that are screaming at him like, this is going to have negative consequences. You have to slow down with this. I mean, he more than cut the deficit in half. So, yeah, he's adding to the debt, but he's adding to the debt at a much lower rate than his predecessor, George W. Bush. So, again, these guys are economic idiots, but they're on a channel where all they do is have verbal diarrhea about economics. There's nothing worse than somebody who pretends to be an expert in a given field and they really have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Speak of the devil. Donald Trump said, the stock market and U.S. dollar are both plunging today. This was on the day Obama got reelected. He said, welcome to Barack Obama's second term. Yes, Donald. The U.S. dollar and the stock market are crashing, except the exact opposite is happening. And then saved the best for last, Rush Limbaugh predicted that, quote, the country's economy is going to collapse if Obama is reelected. Limbaugh was confident in his prediction, saying, quote, there's no if about this, and it's going to be ugly. It's going to be gut-wrenching. But it will happen. The economic freefall would begin, according to Limbaugh, because California is going to declare bankruptcy, and Obama would force states like Texas, the good conservative states, to bail them out. You ready for this? California currently has a $4 billion budget surplus. Whoops. Again, not only are you wrong, you couldn't have been more wrong. They're doing better than other states. This is the problem when you're an ideologue and you're a partisan hack. You can't see the truth. You just make blanket statements about how your side is great, the states that are Republican are great, and the other side is stupid and wrong and dumb. And everything Obama's ever done is bad, and everything is going to be bad. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be poopy face. It's going to be so bad when Obama's reelected. And then you look at the economic indicators that Republicans claim to love, and they're the best they've ever been. Stock market's at a record high. The deficit is down. Again, these are the Republican indicators of the economy. This is what they care about. And they look at their own indicators, and Obama's doing a great job by their own indicators, and they still spit in his eye. See, here's the difference between Republican, or I should say conservative, and liberal commentators. A conservative commentator, because of the dunciness of his audience, there's no repercussions for what they say. You can be dead wrong about everything you've ever said, and it doesn't matter because your side doesn't care about empirical reality. They just care about listening to people say what they want to say. It's a preaching to the choir type situation. So as long as you say the things they want to hear, well, then you're going to be fine. And, of course, the things they want to hear are factually incorrect. So when you have conservatives say stuff like this, it's not like now you have conservatives who are going to look at each other after hearing the segment and they're going to go, well, goddamn, man. Newt Gingrich was way off. Mike Lee was way off. Rush Limbaugh and those stupid CNBC hosts, they were incorrect. They were wrong. Why should I trust this person's word anymore when their analytical abilities suck? They're not going to do that because they don't give a shit about empirical reality. It's not about that to them. They care more about emotional truths than actual truths. How does it make me feel when this person talks? Oh, they're saying the talking points I like, so now I'm with them. Fuck that. Look at the numbers. Look at the data. That's why a progressive commentator, we have a much harder job. Because if we're wrong, our audience flees us in 3 seconds. And they're right to do that. Because they're not looking for emotional comfort. They're looking for information. They're looking to be educated. They're looking for data and facts. And if you say something that's not true, they're on you like white on rice. That doesn't happen with the right. And by the way, this isn't even the best example of that. We know there's zero accountability for Republican talking heads because we saw what happened right before the Mitt Romney, President Obama election. What happened? Conservative commentators were predicting a Mitt Romney landslide victory. Not just a Mitt Romney victory, a Mitt Romney landslide victory. Understand something, man. There's, about 29 different polling agencies? You know how many polling agencies had Mitt Romney up? 2. And those agencies had him up by like a point. So you're telling me the 27 polling agencies said Obama's going to win and he's going to win big. In fact, Nate Silver had it, what was it, 95%, 97% that Obama was going to win going into the day of the election? All these conservative commentators are like, facts, schmacks, we don't care about that. We like Romney better. We don't like Obama. We live in our own bubble. So therefore, my prediction is that Mitt Romney's going to win in a landslide based on bupkis, based on dick. I got nothing to back it up, but I don't care because I don't need it because I'm a conservative. I just say whatever I want. I have verbal diarrhea, and my audience will sit there anyway and take it. And we saw Rush Limbaugh thought Mitt Romney was going to win in a landslide. Glenn Beck said Mitt Romney was going to win. Larry Kudlow on CNBC said Mitt Romney's going to win in a landslide. George Will, the conservative commentator George Will, said Mitt Romney's going to win in a landslide, and George Will is viewed as an intellectual on the right. And after the fact, again, these guys didn't come out, well, I sure look stupid. The only person who came out and said I look stupid is Dick Morris because he was the loudest in saying Mitt Romney's going to win. Blah, 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 blah. But there's no accountability. There's no accountability because it's not about facts. It's not about reality. It's about the talking points that press the buttons that make them go, clap like seals. Me like you when Rush talks even though it makes no sense. Me.